Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you are sitting at the Couples Table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
As long as we both shall live.
Hello, hello. And he did it. Todd changed the channel to include his name.
Todd Christmas Clatter.
Todd Christmas Clatter. I love it. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We have no green.
Oh, no.
I forgot.
Change these
we
lights
can change
back
our
here.
colors. Yeah, here. We'll change the color to... Here you go.
Okay. I'll get on that.
We're going to change it to be more festive. Yo, what's up, Jared? Peter's here. Roger's here. Curiosity Network Podcast. Chris in progress. Spiral Lab. Roger. Drew. Good to see you all. Thank you for being here. So today, we are going to talk about in-person events in 2022. Also, I would like to set the goal that we have a Just Create More in-person event in 2023. Can we
2023
manifest
okay.
this? Yeah.
Yes. Manifest destiny.
Let's make this happen. Manifest destiny. Are you trying to make green?
Green does not show up on camera very well.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. That's
You see the bookshelf life?
It's minty.
It's kind of green.
I'm sorry if I messed up your settings.
It's okay. I have it saved.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's what we're talking about because we haven't gone to an event with other people since 2019.
Yes.
And the last event, I went to one a little later because early March 2020, I went to like a student trip to Northern California for a few nights, and that was right like a week before everything shut down. And it was actually in oh crud, I can't think of the county, Santa Clara County. It was where like the buggies, the beasties entered the like United States to the West Coast. A lot of it was in like this one Northern California county, and it was where we were at that time. So luckily we were all okay, but yeah, then the world shut down. And we haven't done anything since. And so it's been very, obviously you've all been around through this. So there's events that have been scheduled over the past couple of years and they get canceled, they get postponed, or they get toned down or whatever. And last weekend we went to our very first one, which was connected to Social Media Marketing World, which is a conference that's happening this week in San Diego. And Ecamm knew that a bunch of people who use Ecamm are probably going to go to that conference, so they set up their own special event a couple days before, the 2 days before. There were things Ecamm related, and so we didn't go to Social Media Marketing World. It would have been fun, but we didn't go to that. We just went to the Ecamm events, but that was our first time in spaces with other people.
Yeah.
And handshakes. And
I know,
it was
so
very
weird.
That it felt really, really nice.
Yeah.
And we're still feeling pretty healthy, so that's good.
I know. Yeah.
So that was like our little canary in the coal mine for how does it feel to go to things?
So how does it feel?
I mean, okay.
Let's be real.
Health anxiety aside. Well, should we talk about health anxiety or?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, that was navigating it is weird because people, you want to take photos with them, and literally some people are just like, get in here, like and other people are like, oh, are you okay?
Are we doing like?
Are we doing
elbow
masks?
bumps?
Are we doing elbows?
Yeah.
Whatever. And it's like, at this point, honestly, I've had all the shots you can get. We mask up a lot, but you just kind of just went at it, and we'll see.
Yeah.
So far, so good. But aside from that part of it, the part of like connecting with people and being around people and sharing stuff was amazing.
Yeah. I think because obviously it's not over, right? Like COVID is still a thing. But it's finding this balance between like, I don't know, just what we're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why we were okay, at least for me, for this particular event, is because I knew it wasn't going to be thousands of people.
Yeah.
It wasn't a convention. Social Media Marketing World is a huge event, but we were only planning to go to the Ecamm meetup, which was significantly smaller. I mean, there's still like 100 people there, but it was a key 100 people that we really wanted to meet, and then like everyone else will catch you on the next one. And yeah, so far we're still okay. Um, we're not saying that COVID is not a thing. It's still
Yeah,
something that we are paying
that's
attention to.
we
But
navigated this one event as carefully as we could. That's all we're saying.
yeah,
As
exactly.
carefully and precautious as we could, and
Uh,
precocious.
but we are now open to other events.
Well, it's kind of opening. It's like okay, I've seen footage from South by Southwest, which has been happening this week, and I've seen people going into events there where it's like you get tested before you go in.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it seems like, well, at least the stuff I saw seemed like it was working really well and pretty quick and wasn't whatever. And it's like at that point, if, everyone's testing negative and you've got all your shots and you're, washing hands, wearing masks, it's like, well,
You've done all you can, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah. There were a few things happening earlier this year where, like family members were having medical things where it was like, we kind of isolated ourselves because I wanted to be able to be there for that. And now that that stuff is over, it's not that I don't care, but I'm a little less paranoid about
Right.
like,
Yeah.
being Howard Hughes.
Yes, it was fun. Obs is anxious about being around others.
For me, that was pre-COVID though, so.
Let's see. Homesick Mac is here. Josh
Hey,
is here. Good to see you. James, one of
James.
the people we
Speaking
got to
of,
meet. That was awesome. So great seeing you this weekend. Wish we could have stayed longer.
I know that
but
was
next year.
next time.
Next year. Okay, so Voice Our Village, getting straight to it. What events are we thinking about?
What events are we thinking about? Do you have any?
Um,
Well, one which I'm not going to this year. I don't know if it's one you'd want to go to, but I've always wanted to go to NAB, and
I don't know what.
it's the National Association of Broadcasters. It's in Vegas, and there's two reasons I want to go. One,
it's Vegas.
one is it's because it's all broadcast companies, technology, that it's all stuff that I'm super interested in. And two is it's where a lot of the YouTube people and channels and stuff that I like follow, and some that I'm like sort of friends with. It's just there's so many people there that I actually want to meet and hang out, kind of like the Ecamm event. So it's like the conference is relevant and the people are relevant, and I want both. I almost got to go in. I think it was going to get to go in 2020, and then everything got canceled. And that was also hard because I have to take like time off work at the time, and it was a whole thing. And now I think NAB is coming back this year, but half of like the exhibitors and the vendors have pulled out, so it's a very small scale down version. And I'm just like, I'll wait until it is what it's supposed to be. So that's one that I would like to do. It's probably more of a next year thing. Social media marketing world, Heather's been to. I never have. It sounds like from people who have gone, once you've gone once or twice, you're kind of like, other than meeting people and connecting with them, the conference stuff you might be kind of like good on, but I've never gone. It seems like a really fun, not fan servicey event, so I'd kind of like to go to that. But that would be a year from now because it's literally happening right now. So it'd be next.
It's like right now.
It's social media marketing world.
Oh, I thought you were still talking.
NAB is usually April.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's happening in April, but I am not going to go this year.
Yeah.
You're looking at VidCon right now.
Yeah, and like it sucks because the first year I went to VidCon, it was like it was life-changing, seriously, because it was everyone that I watch, but then also like the community, like the creator community in every shade, and it was so awesome to be around. It was just like it was so nice. And then I think the first year I went was 2017, and then every year after that, it just started to change. I think VidCon got bought out, and then it just started to really cater towards the fandom of YouTube. And then I think even this year, YouTube isn't even a sponsor anymore. I think
That's weird.
It's all just TikTok.
Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah, so I'm a little like, man, I don't know. And then I'm looking at the list of how do I screen share this? Boop. I'm looking at it's fine. The list of people, the creators, and like I don't know any of these people.
Which doesn't mean that you couldn't find someone you're interested in, but I know. Wait, no.
Like there's just so many people that I have never heard of. Um,
Wow, I've never felt
I've
so
seen like
old
two
before.
people that I know, but I don't even watch them.
Yeah, just familiar names.
Yeah.
Jarvis is there. I met him at VidCon last time.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like I don't know. It's just a lot
That's a
of people
lot of
that I
people.
don't know.
It's a nice, varied group of people. I guess everyone's like young, but other than age related, there's a nice variety of people.
There's actually a lot of people.
And there's more too.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, I went one time in 2019 and it was fun, but it's like it was so fan heavy, which is fine. Like if you're a fan, you want to just go geek out over people you're excited about. Like that is a fun thing to do. But it's hard when you're like, hey, I want to, I don't know. Like I remember we went to a panel that was on like, I don't know, equality and representation in YouTube or something along those lines. And then it's like you're also seeing middle schoolers screaming for David Dobrik or something. And it's just like, it's different. It's different crowds.
Yeah.
And yeah. So that's why social media marketing world actually appealed to me.
There's no kids.
Well, because I've not been interested in it because I'm not hugely interested in like social media marketing is not a thing that like I excel at or am ambitious towards or anything. But so much of the sessions, the content, everything is actually focused on stuff that is relevant to me. And so many of the people both going and attending are people that I admire and am interested in. And it's all like, I guess you would call that industry side. It's not fan side. So you don't, you can find people that aren't being swarmed by their fans trying to get autographs and selfies. And you can like sit and have conversations with people. And that's pretty cool.
My dad went to NAB for 20 years straight.
Whoa.
Going to NAB, just finished with NRB.
Nice. NRBQ.
NAB Gear Heaven when it is full on. NAB is amazing, but yeah, I agree. This year isn't impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. Like, they have to bring it back. And it's hard for a company, I don't know, we'll say Canon or something, to plan this out. And they have these giant booths and these giant spaces. And they're not sure if the event's actually going to happen or whatever. So it's easier for them to just say, we're not going this year. We'll go next year. And just call it.
You guys talking NAB? Been 4 times greatest convention on earth. Been to Max twice. That was awesome.
Max is fun. Yeah, NAB is just right up.
Well, Max has been digital.
Max has been digital recently, but it was like.
But is it or what's happening this year?
I don't. It's not usually till the fall, so I don't even know if they've announced it.
Hey Patricia, good to see you. Leo, what's up? Good to see you. Lots of different people.
Pay attention, DJI marketing team.
If I had to deal with TikTok, I would die.
I think the YouTube fandom was hard enough to deal with, honestly. I don't really know what TikTok fandom would be like.
I mean, like, I kind of...
It's probably the same, but...
This is what I liked about VidCon 2017, because there was such a divide between the fandom and the creator community. Like, you could go into the fandom, which was on a separate floor.
So it's physically in a separate place.
It was physically divided. And then every year after that, they started to blend even more. And then I think some fans caught on like, oh, if I buy the creator pass, I have, more of a chance to access my favorite creators. And then it just got crazy. But with YouTube not being a main sponsor, I feel like, I don't.
That's weird.
I've never downloaded TikTok, so I have no interest in like, being around that. Megan's here. What's up?
Hey.
Go Johnny, go. Hello. I think NAB happens during the week, so they only get people that can actually take off the week.
Yeah,
that's the thing with social media marketing world too, is that like, it takes place during the week, and then also the price is like, couple $100, like
slightly prohibitive.
Yeah, like $600-$700 maybe. Actually don't know how much it is, but VidCon's like, I think there's $100 ticket. So,
it's during the summer.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Let's see. Sammy's here. What's up?
Robotrick said I recorded my voice to get used to it. So strange. That's good because it just takes more and more time to get used to it. Doesn't mean you'll come to love it, but the more you get used to it, then you move on.
Melanie's here. What's up? What's up? Is there anything else that we would consider going to?
I mean,
What do you guys, are you guys thinking about anything? Because
maybe there's ones we don't know. There's the podcast movement.
Oh,
That's going to be in August in Texas. That's pretty cool. It was in Nashville last year, I believe. And Buzzsprout was going to offer, I think they were going to offer us to go, but I was just like, I don't want to travel. A year ago was just not feeling good about it. But I think they change.
Is it this?
Yes. Dallas. They change their location every year, which is pretty cool. The thing I like about conferences and stuff that I kind of forgot about because I used to go to so many for teaching. What I like and what I remembered at the eCamp thing is it's really fun to get people out of their element. So get people with a common interest out of their element. So like a couple years ago, Heather and I learned how good it is to do staycations. Like we just stayed at a resort. It was actually we were supposed to get married.
In town,
yeah. And it's like, why would you pay money to go stay at a place that's like kind of next to your house? And the reason is we figured out we can say, hey, we're going to stay home and take it easy and have like a home vacation. But you're not fully, right? You're not fully in vacation mode. You're always going to feel like, there's a little laundry I could do. Hey, we made some food. I should probably do the dishes. Like, oh, maybe I could just answer an email. Like, you're always going to just kind of have one foot in the normal everyday mindset. And so by taking yourself out of your element, going somewhere else, all of that disappears and you focus on things totally differently. And that's kind of what I like about conferences is you have a whole bunch of people who have a similar interest, but they're all out of their element. So they're excited because it's different. Everybody's traveling and, it's a little wonky. People are meeting for the first time and nobody is in there like, well, I should go do laundry and like go grocery shopping, like that mindset. And so everybody just focuses on the thing. And it's really nice because like at the eCam event, for example, for the most part, everybody we talked to who came up to us, there's like this assumed...
Everyone's speaking the language.
Yeah, there's this assumed level of knowledge or competency.
And one of the things that Tom hates is when people ask him, like, what do you do for your job? What does it mean to be a YouTuber?
We've talked about that, like at the barber shop where they're just like, hey, yeah, so, are you off today? That's all. It's like the question that like hairstylists are told to ask. Are you off today? I don't know what to say. And then you just have to explain to them because they have a 7-year-old niece who wants to be a YouTuber, and you're like, I'm a 36-year-old guy. I promise it's not quite the same as what your niece like. Yeah. But when James walked up to us at the eCam thing, it's like we already know what each other does, and we already have an understanding.
We've seen each other's content.
Speak the same language.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. It's just
it's nice.
It was. We always knew it was nice. But, like, especially not seeing anybody for, like, 2 years, and so many of the people that we did meet are people we met online in the past 2 years. It's just really, it just felt so good. Because
whenever you do anything, especially this kind of stuff, it can feel like you're sort of isolated. You have your friends that you talk to online, but in your physical life, you can, if you aren't lucky enough to live with somebody,
right? Probably no one cares about what you're doing as much as you do, right?
Yeah.
But you go to something like this, it's like everyone has a camera out. I didn't have a phone holder. Boom. Someone else, like 5 other people in the room have a phone holder mount. So I can quickly live stream. Like it's just it's so cool, and just the energy and I don't know. It was just really invigorating.
Can I oh no, never mind. I was thinking of something, but I'm good. I was gonna do a little show and tell segment, but we don't need to do a show and tell.
Okay, voiceover. Have either of you attended podcast?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So no, but I don't know.
That'd be a fun one.
Maybe this year. Maybe August. We'll see.
VidCon. The thing with VidCon, because I see Dave's comment where he says I was pondering VidCon, but yeah, it sounds awful. The thing I learned when we went is I
wish you had gone when I like.
Yeah, there was that, but you can have the fan or whatever, like the community pass, the creator pass, or the industry track, and it's almost like now you kind of need to get the industry one. You gotta
get the industry one, which sucks because it's like, the most expensive, like $1,200 or something, and it's meant for like a Canon
rep or
Canon or Rode or so. Like it's for the people who make the stuff for the industry. and they have their own talks, and the creator track has its own talks, and the community track obviously has its own talks. But when you have the industry pass, it's like literally on the third level. You can't even go up the escalator if you don't have the the right pass and stuff, and you're just away from the craziness that is the the creator fandom, which is really cool to be around, because it's a reminder of like how powerful.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the fan side of things.
Yeah, it's just a lot of screaming girls.
But if that's not what you're going for, it's like we did see, and I know this was 2019, so things are a little different now. But we did see, we kind of walked by as like David Dobrik was doing I don't know what you would call it, not a talk, like an interview, I guess. He was like sitting on a couch and someone was talking to him, and we were just trying to like squeak by and like go to where we were going. But it was literally like the Backstreet Boys in 1999 were performing, like packed in people, mostly middle school, high school kids,
screaming at every word, and
screaming like literally at one point David stood up from a chair and went over and sat on a different chair,
and it was like crazy,
and it was like
oh my God.
Seriously, it was like some famous guitar player unleashed the craziest solo you ever heard, and it was like people were screaming. It was like he switched chairs. Also, he seems kind of awful, but that's a separate issue.
I'd only go to a video conference again if this community was there to meet up.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's like, maybe we just call it Social Media Marketing World next year. Let's do what
Well, let's stop any. Yeah, but I think Ecamm had the right idea, because
yeah, like we invite, if like let's say Ecamm does the same thing next year, just create more. Let's go. Like let's go.
Yeah, or even if it's not the same thing that Ecamm did, but the idea of finding an event that a lot of your community is going to be at, and then positioning yourself there, so that way, because the thing that was really cool about Ecamm was they weren't launching a product, they weren't showcasing anything, they weren't announcing anything. It was literally just they rented a really cool space.
Yeah.
They set it up as kind of a creator lounge, so you could meet and hang out, but then you could also, like, people were doing workshops one day, and there was even a little area, like if you wanted to stream or something, you could go stream, but they just set that up for fun. But there was no other like pressure, and it was free too.
Yeah, there wasn't even like talks or seminars or.
I mean, there were little workshops. There were.
I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah, the first night was just a hangout session. There was nothing. It was just eat food, hang out, and talk. The second day was more of that, but with a few workshops there too. But it's cool because if you plan on hosting an event and people are going to travel somewhere, you're like, well, if someone's traveling, we got to make it worth their while. So we have to like organize things. And if we organize things, that means then you have to rent more spaces, and you have to equip more spaces, and you have to start paying for insurance. Like it gets big very fast.
The Spiral Lab, why wait until 2023 for the JCM meetup? Let's do it sooner, make our own conference.
It's just the travel thing, because people are spread everywhere. So that's why if we attach it to something else, people are already coming, or at least more willing to come. Like everyone who came to the Ecamm thing, a lot of them went to Social Media Marketing World. So they flew on a plane not to just hang out for a few hours at a thing, but to then spend the rest of the week at a conference. And I would feel less guilty about that. If somebody flew out to hang out at a JCM meetup for 5 hours. And that was it.
I mean, but what if we did like a 3-day thing?
But it's the logistics behind it aren't something I'm even almost ready to wrap my head around, because that's venue and insurance and planning and money, and like I'm not equipped to do that at current time. I know you're looking at me like come around to that, but
what if you didn't have to take care of logistics?
How would that be possible?
Like, I'll handle it.
It's so much. I think especially in the world where things are barely starting to open up and everyone's dipping their toes in, I would rather dip toes a little bit more before jumping into the deep end like that.
I really want to make it happen. We will make it happen.
At some point, I would 100% love to.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Absolutely.
2023 at the latest.
I would love to make something like that happen, but it's baby steps.
Maybe I'll have to come to the U.S. for a year, see all these amazing people, see loads of conventions, only the ceremony. Just realized that the live stream is an hour early. Daylight savings will begin in 2 weeks. I was a little confused.
Gotcha. I think the U.S. is currently voting. It didn't pass?
No, they've been doing that forever. What do you think about the NAM conference? Lots of gear, lots of fun. What's
NAM. Is it National Association of Music Makers, Musicians? NAM is where you find a lot of like guitars and amps and
National Association of Music Merchants.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, NAM is cool. I always watch videos from NAM because I knew about that before any of these since I started playing guitar in high school, and NAM is where a lot of companies will announce their lineups for the year.
I had not brought my jump rope, but I jumped rope when I got home.
She still didn't miss a day. She
Yeah.
jumped rope before he left and jumped rope when he got home.
I've been jumping 1,000 jumps a day since January. Not to brag or anything, but I've been going to convention for 40 years. Gosh, I'm old. I just signed up to go to the World Cup in Qatar for a month because the pay was insane.
Wow, you get paid. That's pretty cool. The cool thing about going, I've not gone to conferences for 40 years, but the longest conference I went to was a career technical education conference. I went there 8 years in a row, and it's fun to see the relationships you build up when you go to the same conference repeatedly. And it's also fun to see how things change. Like I think it was Todd said his dad went to NAB for 20 years in a row. Like when you think about the cool new things that NAB was showcasing 20 years ago versus 20 years later, it's crazy. I've seen photos from it in the 80s where it's like walls of CRT televisions and tape cameras, and it's like it's so fun.
So here's the thing. Here's another thing I want to manifest, because this has been a dream of mine since the very first day I met Tom. Straight up. Like even in our
I think this is a more achievable one.
In our first live stream that we ever did together, where we first met in person, I said that we would be doing a talk together at some kind of event or conference or something about digital media or digital literacy. I don't know what our topic would be, but I would love to still do some kind of like Heather and Tom are speaking at this thing. I want to prepare a presentation. I feel like whatever we make would be awesome.
Feeling jealous of the people who were setting up for their eCam workshops, and they were like, that is really fun. It's so interactive. It's so special because everyone wants to be there. So it's like teaching, except the class is voluntary.
Yeah, like everyone who's there wants to be there.
Yeah.
But like, what if like, you know, we were going to be speaking at a thing, and then that could be the thing that we can piggyback off of.
That makes more sense.
Because then like, oh, come to the talk, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Not just for us, but since we're going to be there.
If it's something that other people, you know, like coming to our thing, but then you also get the benefit of all this other stuff that this event has to offer, I think that's cool.
Let's see. That's the best part about conventions, like-minded people. I know some local filmmakers, but not YouTubers, so conventions are nice. Yes.
Right.
Hi, Riopel Room.
Hello.
Let's see. I was so lucky to have gone to Playlist Live in 2012 before it became too packed with fangirls. Yeah, I never went to Playlist Live, but I remember it was like VidCon and Playlist Live. Those are the two that people always talked about. Maybe because I work with VIP, I'm never impressed. I'll partner with you on the event next year. Let's talk.
There you go. James will make it happen.
James, let's talk. Let's make it happen. Yes, I think eCam did awesome next year.
Robotics.
What? Oh, girls screaming. That happens all the time with this. I can't deal with lots of noise. You know who can't deal with lots of noise? Tom.
Yo, noise, crowds, bright flashing lights doesn't work for me.
There was a point at VidCon where he was like, I need to just chill for a second because it's a lot.
I need to not be like overstimulation.
Yeah,
happens fast.
Yeah, I think it comes from my parents being teachers. I've got a really strong voice. I use it all the time in the hallways because people just yell and scream.
Teacher voice. You inherited the teacher voice.
There's a conference in the app dev world that happens around the same time as WWDC, since lots of devs are already there for Apple.
That's cool. Worldwide Developers Conference.
Do you know how much work it is to put on a conference? Yeah, I know.
But that's why baby steps. You piggyback off something, you sign up to do a talk at a conference, you do baby steps, and then it becomes manageable.
Yeah. I love the idea. We both love the idea, but to get from here to like the event is happening, there's so many. There's like it would take over everything. It would just
There's enough. It's not quite the same, but when I was teaching, my students did so many competitive events. for these organizations we were part of, and a lot of it was when we would go to the events, the advisors would have to help run some of the things or whatever, and it's like you're kind of, to make sure the event happens, you just end up being a customer service rep for some of the time. And you know what I don't want to do? That.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah. If we ever were to do Just Create More event, I would love there to be event organizers, because it would take away from our experience, you know,
Right.
having to
To find
manage.
somebody's registration form and
Yeah, it's like you need someone else. Like, there needs to be a designated person.
yeah.
For that
Oh
to happen.
boy.
For the JCM meetup, I suggest a nice local place. Trust me, it'd worth it to come. Don't worry, Tom. Let's just do something.
Right. I know that's the ultimate answer.
I'm on board to help Heather. Yeah. Well, it'll happen. We put it out to the universe.
I mean, the way Ecamm did it was brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. What's up, Sean?
What's up? Let's see.
Music Merchants, thank you.
Everyone's going to Christmas Con. NAB, let's go. Raphael, are you going?
I imagine Raphael would or has gone to NAB.
Let's see.
Susie Cake's in the fridge. Yes, sir.
I was just eating it. Boop, boop, boop. Tech Troublemaker, good to see you.
Hey.
That would be so cool if you guys did talk. I'm telling you, we should make it happen.
That would be fun. 85 through 95 is when Todd's dad went. He was a broadcast engineer. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. This is what I would never want to do, is a TED Talk.
Well, there's two kinds of TED Talks. I don't know if you knew that. Well, TED Talks are sort of...
You've told me.
Yeah. Because there's TED Talks and there's TEDx Talks, and they are different. Because a TED Talk, I believe, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, TED Talk is you are invited for a reason to give a talk by the organization because you've done something or contributed something or have something to offer. A TEDx Talk is, I think you pay $10,000. You just pay to give a talk, and it's a TEDx Talk. So a lot of time organizations will pay, and then they'll find someone to give their talk or whatever. But the thing about that is just remembering that when you watch a TEDx Talk, of which there are great ones, it is just sort of like pay to play. So it's not necessarily vetted on accuracy or anything. It's somebody had the money to. It's kind of like those Star Walk of Fames where it's like, yeah, you could get the Lifetime Achievement Award and get your name in it, or you paid $25,000 to get your name in it. You know, anyway.
I was trying to see what the deal is with
Adobe Max.
Adobe Max, because that would be a fun one.
That is a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much Adobe. Because as much as I hate Adobe's billing / subscription system,
that's a separate department.
Yeah, their applications, their technology, it's so good.
Yeah, they
it's Premiere, we'll see, but everything else is so good.
I know, but they're like at the forefront of creator stuff.
When we went to Adobe Max, they had a whole session which was hosted by Kumail Nanjiani, so that was very fun, where it was just Adobe developers from different departments showcasing like not finished experimental ideas and things. Some of them we've seen since released an application since then, but it was really cool to see them like, this is what we're trying to do and we think we can do this, and they do a quick little demo or whatever, and it's like, gosh, it really makes you appreciate the work that goes on behind the scenes.
Let's see. Leo, I can't wait to finally travel to the US for the first time, hopefully sometime this year. Would love to meet all the awesome creators in person. Please let us know when you come.
Yes,
we definitely need to meet up. That would be awesome. And you guys I need to see this collab.
Oh man, go to Leo's Instagram and look at the automated robotic camera thing he created. It's insane.
Overstimulation is a wild thing. I'm with you, Tom.
Yeah.
Inherited a teacher voice or just learned it from watching my parents.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Peter Gregg.
Peter.
Hi guys. Love the live chats. Thumbs up.
I'm
Michael.
curious, Peter, did you order the Mac Studio?
My friend has run an anime convention in Orlando for years, and every year it drains the hell out of me.
I bet, but
that's the thing. Like when
you're the person running it,
that's
why I like being a speaker, where it's like, okay, I have my thing I need to prepare for,
but you don't have to think about anything.
I don't care where the restrooms are. I don't care who's passed in, go through. I don't know if someone lost their meal ticket. I just need to go make sure my thing is as good as it can possibly
Will
be.
you, or have you done on other platforms meetings in Zoom with communities, a stream with community in Zoom, or you can? I mean, we do in Just Create More.
Yeah, we've done Zoom and Just Create More.
Yeah, I mean, we should do more of them.
Yeah, we should do more of them.
Would love to meet everyone in this community.
Yeah.
Same here. I mean, we will make it happen. Everybody, manifest, universe, let's go.
Raphael said do a Disneyland meetup. Talk about expensive. But that would be fun. We're dying to go to Disneyland.
I know. That'd be awesome. Bailey, I remember one of the episodes of Tom's podcast, you guys finished an event plan and then COVID happened.
Because we even had like a space that was...
We had a venue.
Yeah, that was... We had like a local venue that was going to be able to be like basically donated. So that helped a lot. But none of that is the case anymore.
So like I am not at the point where I could wrap my head around a Just Create More con, you know, like a convention. I feel like that's...
We don't want it to be a TanaCon.
It's just a...
Fire festival.
I want to get people together. I would like there to be a designated time for us to learn from each other, but also hang out.
Like a structured meetup.
Yeah. But a whole con is, I mean, it's just... There's just so much, and we're two people, and one of them is not into logistics. I'm into logistics so much that I recognize when something is beyond me, and then I know that like Enthusiasmania.
Just create enthusiasm. I was hoping Apple would buy Adobe. Yeah, I can't imagine. It's just there's so much to love about Adobe, but
did not order Studio
so much
yet.
So frustrating. Oh, okay. Yet.
Looks like there could be a client project soon where I'll have to travel to the US. Oh, perfect.
Jeez, like that's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking today how I've never gone to Disney. Really? Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Disneyland, it's other than being wildly expensive, it's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah. I've helped put on Tony Robbins and Gary Vee shows. It gets crazy in logistics. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just exhausting. If you're running like you don't sleep for however many days it is, and the planning you plan for 6 months, like.
But like, okay, so
not that can't be fun in itself.
I'm not sure if this is still happening, but Tom and Doc Rock of Ecamm were a few months ago. We're talking about.
I think that might have been the thing this weekend. I don't know.
But
we were talking about doing like a
creator.
It was more like a working weekend. So it wasn't going to a conference, getting super psyched about everything, and then going home and kind of like forgetting about what you did and like needing to find time. It was like, hey, you're going to show up and yeah, by the time you're done, you're going to leave with something that might be a channel that's set up and published. It might be, you know, a whole Ecamm package that's ready to go, a video that's done. Like you're leaving with something that you've done, that you've made. Rather than like one person talking and everyone down here, it's almost like a class. But yeah,
that sounds fun.
That does sound fun.
Do you know how TEDx got its name? Kind of like the history. I don't know how it arrived. I don't know either.
I just thought that there were, I can't think, I was going to say there's 9 other TEDs and then TED 10 showed up. TEDx, that's stupid. I'm sorry.
I want a vacation in the desert to come hang out with some JCM folks for a few days. Everyone gets their own hotel and meals. Yes, structured meetup.
The good news with the desert is there's tons of resorts and hotels everywhere.
We are a destination.
Tourism is #1, like economic
Tourism
driver.
Is our thing. So yeah, we definitely... Like, if you guys are coming to Coachella.
Oh, yeah, we could tack it on to Coachella. I don't know how many people in our couples table community are going to Coachella.
But it's, like, down the street from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all should listen to Release Notes podcast. They discuss how they ran a conference in some of their earlier episodes. Apple doesn't reinvent the wheel if they don't have to.
Oh, me too, Bailey. I was flooded with Mac Studio videos today because they started getting delivered and everything.
A Disneyland meetup would be great. If VidCon does a Disneyland meetup.
Yeah, well, because I mean, Disneyland works. It's just the destination, and then you just find a place nearby and like have your meetup, and then or just go as a group, and then you go to the group. Go to Disneyland as the group.
Just have a barbecue at the house. I mean, that would be the easiest thing, honestly. Just come over, guys. Like, we got the space.
I mean, we don't have space for hundreds of people.
I-
We also gave away our barbecue on Super Bowl Sunday.
I did a content creator meetup with a few creators last year where we all made enough content for 3 months.
That's cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, if you go home and you actually have something to show for it, instead of usually what happens is my brain gets so overloaded with everything I learned, and guess what? I never open the notes.
Yeah, I have all the notes.
Again.
I'm so excited, but then you travel home, you're exhausted. You have to get back into your daily life. By the time you come up for air to like, yeah, what happened at the conference? You're like, I don't want to do that anymore.
I'd attend a Heather and Tom band camp.
I'll teach you how to play the
Kevin.
drums out of time.
What is happening?
That's a street sweeper.
That's a street sweeper. I don't know.
I heard that guy's late today. He must have overswept.
There's this curl right here that is like
looking great.
Going. Where are you going? Like, fall in line.
Gonna unfurl the curl.
Sorry,
girl.
Sorry. TEDx is for external, non-official events. Those are still good, but they just give the opportunity to everyone to have their TED Talks. We have our local TEDx conferences. Those are our opportunities.
TED That makes so much sense.
Ding, ding, ding,
Thank you,
ding.
Peter.
There you go.
A wealth of knowledge. A gentleman and a scholar.
I mean, I think we should. When does it become official? Like, what if we did like, okay, Tom and I are gonna be in this city.
Okay, so here's when
you can meet us up, but
everybody's adults, everybody's their own person. But when I was teaching, if you had an event, if you were hosting an event with students, God, what a nightmare! The amount of forms, the amount of this, permission slips, that, all the other things.
Yeah, they're minors.
And yeah, of course. I mean, with good reason for the most part. But like at the end of the year, if I taught a yearbook class, a lot of the yearbook staff would want to have like a banquet they just want to go to a restaurant together. And if we did it through the school thing, we'd have to start planning it in
months.
Whatever. And so I won't lie. A few times what we did was like, I would just say like, hey, I'm super excited because this Friday I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory at 6 p.m. and I can't wait to eat at the Cheesecake Factory at 6 p.m. And then a few other people would be like, wow, that's crazy because like I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory at 6 p.m. And then we would just happen to run into each other there. And then it's like, well, gee, if we're all here, we might as well just hang out and enjoy the end of the year together. And, that was unofficial. I think it becomes official. I mean, it's a gray line, but I think like what Ecamm did. They rented a space. They invested money. They rented a space. They paid for food. They...
But that was like, to me, that was an awesome event because it was just like, we just have to get the space for 2 days and we can do whatever.
I think it becomes official if people are paying for tickets because that's when it's like you have your registration, you're there. Ecamm rented a space and it was kind of like whoever happens to wander in during these hours happens to wander in.
Yeah, but it also was official.
I mean, it's officially an Ecamm thing, but it wasn't like a conference and
right.
Like a big event.
So what if we did something like that where we just...
That's what we've been talking about.
No, I mean like, because, okay, there's like casual, like, hey, let's all go Disneyland on the same day. And
right.
We just happen to be going to Disneyland on the same day. Then there's convention
right.
where it's like, there's a whole registration, deposits and all this craziness. But maybe there's something in the middle where it's like...
I'm just going to steal Ecamm's idea.
Yeah.
That's all.
But, I mean, do you think that's doable in 2022?
2022? I don't know. 2023 for sure. And the reason I say I don't know is just because of what events there are. Like,
we get sponsors.
But, I mean, tie it into... I don't want to get sponsors and stuff in 2022. That's not a thing. I don't have the bandwidth. But tying it onto another existing event, I think is brilliant. There's no pressure. Otherwise, it's just going to be expensive and stressful. And you know what I don't want? Things that are expensive and stressful.
Okay. I once had a kid's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, so I have major live event coordinator experience. I went to an amazing
Charles Entertainment Cheese
conference on Tuesday. It seems so easy to set up, but being part of events, fundraiser things for school is just so difficult.
Yeah.
will hold a local podcast-related event on the Hungarian Podcast Day. Should give a keynote speech in October.
Hungarian Podcast Day, is that a thing?
You guys have a podcast day? How come we don't have a podcast day?
We probably do. Every day is something. It's like National Cheesecake Day, National Left-Handed Dog Day. Like, okay.
Dude, Cheesecake Factory is
Cheesecake Factory is great. Like, there's so much stuff on the menu.
Anyway, I really want to do something. I got the itch to do something.
Yeah. Things are fun.
I don't the problem is I have zero event planning experience aside from coordinating my own birthday bashes. But to like, do it for a business, I have no idea. I don't even know what steps to take. So
I've done it for schools and it sucks. But that's also, there's a lot more bureaucracy through schools than there are.
And like the one thing that Tom and I like for everything in life, personal or professional, we always want to do it our way. Like we want it from the entire start to finish experience. We would want it to be something that like, oh, if we could have our own event, what would it look like?
Yeah.
And it obviously it's got to be fun and just the way that we would do it. To figure that out would take a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but 2023.
Yeah. Can I? Maybe I should do a little bit of show and tell before we wrap up. I'm gonna do it because I feel it's related. I'll be right back.
That sounds like you were an absolutely fantastic teacher.
Thanks.
For my work, I'm currently planning events for the fall. So if you really wanted something in 2022, you would want the early stages thought out within the next month. Yeah, we're not gonna do 2022. We can't. I ran a theater conference in college. I volunteered to help run it. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. So in college, I ran a lot of events. But I don't know, this just seems like such a different beast, especially when you know that people are coming from out of town. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need to start like an event group in Just Create More, like in the Mighty Networks app. And if you want to like help or brainstorm for whatever the future event is, we could just start dumping ideas in there. Let's see. Q. Let me search the Q. Boop.
Wait, Q conference? Oh yeah, that's in Palm Springs. Wait, is that what we're talking about?
No.
Oh, Q. Sorry, there's Q conference is computer using educators. Probably not what we're talking about.
All those in. Raise their hands. Yeah, I know. We need to head to Atlanta too.
Yeah, there's so many people we know in Atlanta.
I know. Anyway. Well, here's what we're going to do. In the Just Create More community, I'm going to create an event group. And if you want to, I don't know, just contribute ideas.
Brainstorm.
Yeah. You could just hop in there. And either way, we're going to make this happen. Like, I really want it to happen. Okay. Show and tell time.
Show and tell time. You saw camera. Yeah. So this is why I think this is cool. So.
Sorry.
Bailey.
Sorry, last thing.
Okay.
Last thing. This is homework for everybody. Save up now because
because we're gonna charge so much money.
No. But we want like it's probably not gonna happen very often. Like we're gonna have the one Just Create More event, and we would love for as many people to go as possible. So let's start.
All right.
Okay,
so
here we go.
I can tie all this together. So we went to the eCam event, and like Heather said, a lot of those people are people we've met in the past 2 years. One of the strongest things about eCam is the community that's a part of it. And that community's been around because I learned eCam as a company has been around for 22 years. I did not know that. They started making Palm Pilot apps. But the community kind of as we know it as its strongest resource is something that really like came together during the pandemic because eCam became such a vital tool. And even post-pandemic, that's something that, it's like you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. Like people want to keep doing it. And so it's cool. I feel like that's such a community, not unlike Just Create More or even like the Couples Table community, where you start to feel like you build different level relationships with people beyond just like, I saw them on the internet. Like you really feel sort of differently. And so Doc Rock is someone who's been in our couple. We met him through the couples table actually, and then he's the Ecamm like community guy and all kinds of stuff. I hope he's okay with me sharing the story. If you're not Doc, I apologize, but I mean, you know, he's fine with it. So Doc came from Hawaii to the Ecamm conference, and he brought two things. I'll put one here. Let's see if we can. I'll put one here. Oh wait, you can't see that. I'm gonna have to put it in front of you. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll just put it right here. This.
I don't know what this is, but I've heard of this.
So Doc gave me two red ones. These are the red one, and there are two of them. Are you ready?
I don't know what this is.
So these are so heavy and giant. They remind me actually of like giant lights. But these are, I guess the easiest way to put it would be you could call the red one like the first truly pro level digital cinema camera. So these are from 2007, which is before like DSLRs could shoot video or anything like that. They're 4K cinema cameras, so 4K video in 2007, kind of a big deal. These were very expensive. They were like $17,000 each back then. And they're I haven't been able to. I haven't like put everything together because he gave me a whole kit and supply and everything. But basically, Doc has had these around, and he was just like, "Hey, I want to bring them to you." So he brought them all the way over from Hawaii and gave them to me. But that's not it. That's cool. But here's what's really cool. So
what's cool?
I might be getting some of the story wrong, but my understanding of where these came from were that Doc's dad was into video production and broadcast and all that stuff, and he bought these when they came out in 2007, and they used them for work stuff and client projects and things. So they got used a lot. And then Doc's dad has since passed away, and they've just had these cameras sitting around. And so I guess Doc was saying he and his brother were kind of deciding like
what to do with them.
Yeah, do we sell them? What do we do? Like they're still relevant. Like they're still 4K cinema cameras in 2022. And a lot of people, like Caleb Pike has a video on this. The image quality still actually holds up to current cameras. It's really nice 4K video. No autofocus, of course, and it needs a ton of light to work. They're not great in low light. The video quality is great. But anyway, they were like, well, I don't know if we could sell them for that much, because it's not like they're selling for $17,000 now or anything. They're usually like, you know, much less than that, a fraction of that. But it was like they kind of came to the agreement that it was less about making money off of selling this stuff and more about these things going somewhere where they're going to be appreciated in their history. You know, there's been like Marvel movies shot on these. The entire Social Network movie was shot on these. Like you can look up like filmographies of the Red One, and it's all stuff, movies and TV shows that we've all seen. And they were the first like filmmakers going, hey, this is not film, but it works just as good and looks just as good as film. And obviously today most things are shot on digital. So it's kind of crazy to me that these very expensive things that mean a lot to these people and their family and belong to a parent who's no longer around, that with somebody who I only met in person once, but we've known for now several years online and become very close to, would go to the point where it's like, we want you to have this because like we feel like this is a good place for these things to go because of how much like the connection that we've built over the past few years, just because we're interested in streaming and cameras and all that kind of stuff. So it was like, aside from being excited to get these fun cameras to play with, it was like, wow, like the connections you make in a virtual space really do translate into the real world in a very tangible way. And it was, I think that, like, as fun as it is to talk about this event, that event, the other thing, I think that idea of like, wow, connecting with all of the real people that you're making connections with is really special and really valuable. And that's what, on top of everything else, that's what these mean to me in that.
Aw, that was nice.
That was my show and tell. You tie it all together.
That was really sweet.
Oh.
I love that. I love this story. That's awesome, man. Have fun with those. Aw. Yeah. Tom's next live stream. All right. Can you live stream with these?
I mean, they have HDMI. They have every output you could think of. They have HDMI, SDI, everything. But they're not like the Sony A7S III. You flip it on and everything's good to go. Like, you have to build them out. And I don't even know what lenses I could get to put on them, but I believe they're totally working. The crazy thing, though, is since they're from Hawaii, a lot of the external screws are actually like rusted because of the ocean. So I've been looking up ways to fix that, which is actually super easy.
It's just funny because, like, you unintentionally started a retro cam
fad
collection.
I know I didn't. Yeah, a collection.
And it was just because it's purely your interest.
Just following curiosity.
His enthusiasm for opening up a 20-year-old camera is the same as opening up the newest and greatest and most expensive camera. But I mean, that's another thing with this creator community, because number one, not only are a lot of the people in the creator community really just being themselves, like you're truly able to connect with the people who are just excited about the thing that you're into as you are. And that's like, I have not, we talk about this all the time. I have not had that in person, just because, you're just kind of like the people who happen to physically be in your life are just the people who are there. And not that they're like not good enough or whatever, but it's like really cool that when you can
connect at a different level.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw someone showed up in the chat here.
Oh, Doc, you need to like go back 5 minutes because he did a whole really nice story.
I hope that that's okay. But if you gave me these, I'm gonna make videos about them. I'm gonna give you credit for being the source of where they came from.
You need to back up right before these came in the frame.
Isn't it crazy that these were in your place in Hawaii and now they're in Heather's studio in our house? That's so weird.
That's an inspiring story. I don't know how or what it inspires me about, but it inspires me.
It's just the connections you make are really fun. So these have PL mounts on it, which are Panasonic lenses. I can always just get a Panasonic lens.
I just got here. Why is Tom crying?
I think I held it together pretty well.
I thought we were gonna see a tear shed.
No, I'm good.
But you did good.
Is it like a tool shed, but where you keep your tears?
I didn't see your question. I thought I answered all your questions. Robotrix. The lens cost a fortune.
Yes, if we're getting oh my gosh, Matt has this amazing cinema lens. He sent me a photo. He bought like an amazing, I don't know what the proper term would be, but almost like an ENG lens cinema. It's beautiful.
Watch the replay after this is done. You were in for a real treat. Let's see.
It's like Bloody Mary. I said his name 3 times.
Just a thought, when it comes to potential meetup in 2023, set the date a long time in advance so that we who lives on the other side of the globe have time to plan. Yeah, as soon as you guys will know if even like a fraction of maybe this is gonna happen, we'll just let you know, because obviously we want as many people to go as possible, and we realize that I would even say half this community is international.
Yeah. You know who likes planning and making sure things are organized?
Thomas.
Me. Yes.
Wait, Tom is crying?
I wasn't crying. I was like,
I know.
Yeah. I think Robotrix was talking about the thing about Zoom. We did get to that about Zoom. We've done Zoom in our community, and we should do more Zoom in our community.
Yeah, in the Just Create More community, we do Zoom. We will do more. It's just, I don't know what we should just do a hangout.
Hangouts are fun.
Will you, or have you done other platform meetings in Zoom?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, we did talk about that one.
Yeah. So
the
last
things that
week,
give you two-way real-time interaction are cool.
Last week we did. I hosted a Sony ZV-1 workshop on Zoom because I was like, I need to know how to use this, and some people were there and helped me out, and that was awesome. So you can bring your pillow and weighted blanket with you into a hotel, Heather. Yes, I do know that, but I was like, we're only going to be there for a day.
It's one night.
Yeah, it's one night, and I was like, I don't want to have to lug all this stuff, and 100% I should have lugged all the stuff.
I slept like a baby.
I've learned my lesson. I was like, I I hate that I'm like high maintenance, but my body is just like, I refuse to sleep unless there are certain conditions. I don't know. Anyway, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Check rental houses. They keep all their stuff.
Good
I
idea.
worked in a couple houses during a bigger. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I watched Caleb Pike's video about these, and he converted his to an EF thing, but he was like, it was not easy, and I wouldn't recommend it. So.
Oh, I totally thought we were talking about like Airbnbs.
Oh no, we're talking about like to get the lenses for
Congrats
these guys.
on the glasses. Thank you. Aren't they cute?
We can shine a bright light in your face and watch them transition.
How did Ben and Finley do at their...
They did great.
Yeah, and let me tell you, one of the things that was really holding us back from ever going out of town was what to do with Finley, especially because Ben's been to the dog hotel, but Finley hadn't slept there, and he did awesome. We did get the like camera or the hotel where we can check them on the camera, and he didn't sleep in a dog bed. He just slept on the floor.
They gave him a dog bed, but he didn't use it.
He was like, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, I mean, he didn't show any signs of
distress.
Why the hell did you do this to me? Yeah. Like,
yeah, and they said it took him a while because we've taken him like for the day a few times, and he's gotten groomed there, so he's been there several times. They said finally he was starting to like play with other dogs, and it's just, you know, he was a puppy in 2020, so he didn't get the normal socialization that a puppy would. But he handled it great, and he came home and he was tired, but he was as happy as could be,
totally
and just excited.
Fine.
Like,
yeah, and let me tell you,
he's sleeping right over there now.
That was such a
relief.
Such a relief.
Yeah,
such a relief.
I guess they have like a detention list for dogs, and they were like, oh no, their names weren't on the list, and I got really scared for a second.
Let's see. The vlog was awesome. That's because you were in it. It still trips me out watching it because I'm like, I can't. That voice is like, it's just I've only heard it on a phone, and to hear your voice in the same frame as Tom was like, it was just so good meeting you, man. Hangout is the words I was missing.
Hangout, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a hangout.
Do you have something in front of your ZV-1 to make it wider?
Yes, the Ulanzi
wide angle
lens.
adapter.
Yeah. I don't even know where my... Oh, it's in the kitchen.
It makes it, because the ZV-1's a 24 millimeter at its widest, and the Ulanzi makes it 14 or 18. It makes it pretty wide, because the problem, especially, sorry, the problem is that because you need active stabilization turned on, so that it's nice and smooth.
I get hella motion sickness.
Yeah.
So
in order for the active stabilization to work, the camera has to crop in a lot, and so 24 millimeters is like barely wide enough to use, and then you crop in a lot, and it's really hard to use if you're filming yourself. So that wide angle adapter makes a huge difference.
I was so scared with my glasses when I got them that with the softbox they would tint, and hey, don't.
Yeah, yours haven't done anything in here.
This is my first time on camera with them.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, they do look great.
Heather, just want to say that you're doing a great job on the vlogs. Always enjoy watching them. That really means a lot coming from you, Leo. So thank you. I have to say, with this past vlog, I was like, it was just so much, right? Like, we're out of town, and it was definitely one I was overthinking because I was like, okay, there's the eCamp stuff, and there was all these creators that we met, and like, you know, you guys had a 13-minute talk on camera, and then like we also, I was like, does anyone care that I picked up my Warby Parker glasses? Like, do I include
plus
this?
A cake, plus the dogs.
And it was really hard trying to figure out like what do I include here, and I'm taking the time to say this because I was telling Tom this actually. I was like, you know what? Just
create more.
I don't know. I guess the thing I want to say is like stop overthinking. Like, I'm glad I told myself I have to upload this the next day, period. Because there was a big part of me that was like, let me just sleep on it one more night and I'll see how I feel tomorrow. But then I was telling myself, instead of doing that, I should just make the next video. So just get this out. And if people don't want to watch the whole thing, then they won't. And it's no big deal. But what the whole point of this is for us to be able to look back and be like, look how awesome that weekend was. And even if it doesn't make sense or it feels like a jumbled mess, it doesn't matter. People are along for the ride as far as they want to go. And I'm so glad that I don't know, that it was enjoyable, because it was one I was overthinking, and I'm still having such a blast making all of them.
That makes me happy.
Anyway, thank you. That vlog made me so happy to watch. Yay, thank you, Melanie. I appreciate it. Let's see. Hey guys, just found you a few days ago. Been binging Tom's mic reviews because I'm planning an automotive podcast with two friends. Really love your guys' streams. Keep it up. Sweet.
Good luck with your show. Hopefully there's helpful stuff over there.
No bloopers when Heather read the incubator. I actually did pretty good.
Yeah, there weren't that many. I mean, there weren't like hilarious bloopers. It was just sort of, it was even her reading it fine and then saying, no, I could do better. Let me just do it one more time. But most of the microphones, because I think we did 5 or 6 different mics, so she had to read the script 5 or 6 different times. But most of them, she got on the first try.
You know why? It's because I've seen that video so many times.
Yeah.
I've seen, it's
like
one of my favorite. Yeah, I know exactly like what part of the word to stress to make it all happen in one sentence.
Yeah. It's funny, so. And we didn't even plan on that. It wasn't until, because I was like, was it?
No, because we didn't plan.
We didn't, because I was like, oh, we just need to talk into the microphone. And she was like, well, what do I say? And
let me tell you, doing that video, this is a whole thing we should talk about. Doing that video with Tom was a completely different experience, because here I am, like, Tom's videos I put on a pedestal because, you know, he's on a different level. There's a like level of excellence that is there that I just don't have for my videos, like the quality, and plus like the comments that he gets are just comments that I will never get, because there's people that are watching that don't watch my channel, right? So like, I know for a fact that if I, you know, one of the things that I get a kick out of is when I zoom in with the Sony ZV-1, you can hear it. I think that's so hilarious. The noise. You know who would probably comment about that on his channel is like a bunch of people being like, oh, what a noob or whatever.
I mean, that's really funny though.
I think it's hilarious.
That's like one of my favorite things.
But people look at a quality in his videos that I just don't understand, because it's a lot of gearheads and camera people and stuff like that. So whenever it comes to Tom's videos, I'm very careful about like how I'm participating, or, you know, the feedback that I'm giving, knowing that this is a different audience that he's interacting with. So when he was like, hey, do you want to be part of my video? I was like, yeah, but you need to tell me what to do, because I don't know how to interact with these people. Like, it's just a different thing. And he was like, okay, it's a camera test. Go. What am I supposed to say? Like, I have no idea. You need to you can't just, I'm not the improv guy. That's all you know? So I was like, hi.
Well, at first it was like, okay, here's the Shure MV7. It's a $250 microphone. And you'd be like, this is me on the Shure MV7. It's $250. And then we're like, well, you should say more so people can hear your voice.
And I was like, what
the
do you
whole
want
point
me to
was
say?
to hear a different voice on the microphone. And so you needed to say more so people could hear more. And I was thinking of like, you know, like Curtis Judd always does like poetry. He has people like read poetry on mics. Epos Fox does like Lord of the Rings, reads passages from Lord of the Rings. And I was like, oh yeah, people have like long things that they read, and just had the encabulator script right there. So it was like the first mic or two, she doesn't really do it, and then it slowly turns into.
And then it like worked
video.
out. But anyway,
it was funny.
I was really like, you need to give me some direction, because
I mean, I also don't direct. Like, it's always just me. I know it's all in my head. I know what I'm doing. You know.
Yeah. Let's see. Did you finish the cake that evening, or we're still working on it?
Oh, there's so much left.
We put like a third of it in the freezer.
We did weigh it, and it was 9 pounds.
Let's see. Yes, your vlogs are awesome. I want to get a real lesson from you. Hey, Kevin, good to see you. Just shoot, just create. Thanks for an amazing stream.
See ya, Bailey.
See ya. Time to pass out just to celebrate St. Patty's Day.
Bye, Caleb.
Bye. One of our VIPs complained about me using ZV-1.
And no one could tell the difference. Yeah.
Oh, see?
Well, we did the comparison between the FX3 and the ZV-1, which wasn't fair because I had the FX3 open to F1.4 and the ZV-1 wasn't. But most people preferred the ZV-1 for vlogging because it just looked more vloggy, and like people wanted that style. I should have put the aperture on the FX3.
Heather,
smaller.
I would never say anything negative about you. I have class and manners.
You can just tell anyone who gives you criticism that they have no class and no manners. Alrighty.
It's just not for them.
It's just not for them.
Anyway, or if the video has a sponsor, read out the sponsor.
read. I did that with an Artlist video, an Artlist sponsorship where it was the mystery mic box, and so the Artlist logo was covering up the microphone, and you couldn't tell which one I was talking into, and I was going back and forth while doing the Artlist read.
But it's just funny because usually I'm not like, usually I don't mind being put on the spot. You could just totally like, Heather, go do this, and I just go.
Yeah.
When it comes to your channel, it's a completely different thing. Like even I haven't been on your live streams in a while, but like when I am live, I don't say anything because there's just people. I don't know, man.
People love you on the channel.
I know, but it's like I don't know. It's just
people love you. I think you're up in your head.
Probably.
Anyway.
All right.
Alrighty. Time to clear a table.
Is it time to clear the table?
It is time. Oh, and for those of you who listen, I guess this is probably irrelevant considering the schedule of things, but I finally caught up on uploading the audio-only versions, which I have been dropping the ball on because our workflow changed. So between now and next Thursday, 4 episodes are going to go up audio only, and then this one will go up the following Tuesday back on the normal schedule. Because normally we do the show on Thursday, audio version of that show goes up on Tuesday. We'll be back in that cycle. But if you're subscribed to the audio version, you're going to get a lot of notifications over the next few days.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take it easy. Have fun.
Yes.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.